Then let me go to Martin Brechbiel, MMR, for his Scratch Builder's Corner. Martin has been absent for a month. He wanted to take a break. He needed the rest. You all were asking too many questions and just being too rude. So Martin just wanted time to relax and get his modeling skills back up to stiff stuff and so. But he's back tonight, and we're so happy he's returned. Welcome, Martin.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure what to do with that introduction, but maybe perforate it and put it on a roll for later. Anywho, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Come on. There you are. Now, let's put this somewhere where it's out of the way. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to build something. And we're going to build what I call the towerless house, which would imply that there is a house with a tower that I'm going to remove, or something to that effect. And that house is derived, one we're going to build is derived from this one. This is the tower house kit Branch Line Trains Laser Art used to sell for an ungodly amount of money, which I managed to. This one's actually on my layout. This is actually a picture of on my layout. It's on my layout. It has an added sign. This is the Grace L. Ferguson Home for Wayward Girls in Finishing School. God knows what goes on inside there. But this is a laser cut kit. There's lots and lots and lots of laser cut parts and funky windows and lots of peel and stick stuff. And you can see it has all kinds of fun details, and it's got this side porch and this tower, which we're going to take out. You can see it there sort of, and it's there around the back. And there's more tower over here. I don't have any really good pictures of the tower apparently, but you can see there's all kinds of things here to be modeled that are complicated. So I'm going to use this without actually taking it out of the layout and measuring it with a ruler or anything. We're just going to look at it and say, oh, we need windows about this big. Therefore, the walls are going to be about that big, and we just need to put all that together. And we're just going to do, usual seat of the pants modeling. So, and the basis for this was a lot of these old houses were actually out of catalogs, and you could pick different types of windows and design. And I thought, well, what if you picked, I like everything sort of general design, but I don't want the tower. We don't have anybody to lock up into it, so we don't need a tower. So take the tower out. And okay, so one of the things of this kit is, yeah, it says it's O scale, but it's compressed. There's no way it's the dimensions it is with the full width of floor, ceilings, the distances in between, etc., with all the width of walls, etc. It's just not, you can take, you look at it for a while, you just begin to realize, yeah, these floors are a little too close together for these windows, and it doesn't make some entirely good sense. So we're going to start from scratch, which is oddly enough what I do. And we pull out of the filing cabinet a selection of Grant Line windows. We've got a nice Victorian entry door. We have some nice windows. And, well, we need this wall. We need that wall, that wall. Looking at the model on the assembled model on my layout and saying, well, this has to go around this way. It has to go that way. We need this much space to make these windows right. It makes sense. And we'll trust Grant Line on their dimensions of their windows to be actually what they say they are. But they need to be spaced accordingly. And the fun part here, of course, is going to be You'll see these are round, and you have this double arch. Cutting out curved sections, you know, we have enough trouble cutting out rectangle or holes in our clapboard. Well, that's nice. I don't know who's calling me at this time of night, but we're not going to talk to them. Anywho, probably my son calling on an emergency. Oh, well, he'll figure it out. So we have curved sections. You know, cutting out curves is not easy with a scalpel or an X-Acto knife or whatever you're using, but we're going to do it anyhow. These, fortunately, actually are square underneath of it. They're rectangular. This, I've lost the side panels and framing. We'll just make new panels and side panels and framing. Okay, so that takes care of 3 walls. There's that entrance wall. It was on the porch. This is where the tower wall used to be. And this is the next side wall. And we'll go around the back, make everything come out even. There's a little back porch that bounces out, entranceway, other 2 side walls on the opposite wall. And here's the front wall. And of course, you know, clapboard doesn't come in this width by any stretch. So these are all glued up pieces, various sizes, scraps, 3.5 inch or even 6 inch, 7 inch clapboard. I have some larger stuff, and we just glue it up, cut it out with a utility knife, straight edge, and lay it all out and look at it and make sure, okay, do we have enough walls? Do we have the right walls? Do they actually line up? Are they the right heights? Are they going to marry together cleanly? Because that's going to be the fun part later. And over here, we have this bay window. Okay, so Grant Line doesn't sell bay windows. You have to make a Grant, you know, you got to make this. But this is made out of 4 of these window castings. So yeah, putting these 2 together, well, it's not too hard. You file off, sand off the pieces on the sides here, join them together. Well, at the time I did this, I actually still had some methylene chloride, which you obviously can't get anymore. You're stuck with the nasty smelling methyl ethyl ketone now. And it is nasty smelling. I was using some today. But then you got to put this beveled to this side over here, which requires sanding block and beveled corners and sanding and beveling and sanding and fitting and sanding and fitting and sanding and fitting until you get it right. And I found, of course, you need a little former on the bottom and the top to assemble this as a unit. So we get this together. It's not too bad. The first iteration on it, at least, looks like this. So we trim everything, try to get it lined up as best as possible. We have to fill in and clean up all these joints later. But the basic assembly is what it is. It comes together pretty cleanly, not too terribly difficult to do. You just have to be patient and try to remember that trigonometry that you learned, or geometry, planar geometry that you learned some year in college if you were forced to suffer through it. And it comes together decently. And from the inside, you can see, yeah, I added a piece of styrene in the middle here just for reinforcing that joint to make it a little stiffer. These are actually came out pretty close, but a lot of methylene chloride. And then these get glued to the 2 formers that actually slot right into the recesses in the back of these Grant Line castings, but that holds together. And this is glued together with some goo and some CA and some threads, and it's like a rock when you get done with it. But, you know, the fun part, of course, will be glazing these later. You can imagine what that's going to be like. That will generate considerable amounts of colorful language. But this is set up, and then you have to cut out the hole for that front where this is going to go. And I've left this shelf here just to make it easier to handle from the inside of that wall when I assemble it, because that'll give me something to reinforce it from the inside. And I'm all worn out, so I'm going to stop here tonight. I'm exhausted. That's it. Jim, you worn me out.
Well, this is your first night back, so we'll forgive you. I mean, it takes a while to get back in the swing of things.
I need another month off. No.
Thanks so much. Anybody got questions for Martin? Martin, thank you so very much, sir. You take it easy now. Just relax. Call your son.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. I don't care.
Okay.
Probably somebody trying to tell me I won the lottery again.